listen, this could be a cool video, alright? Or it's the worst video I've ever made. There's no action in this entire video. Basically, I just went to Harko Village and realized that there's like a ton of people you can talk to, and they have kind of cool stories and backgrounds, and you can like learn shit, and it's kind of like playing Skyrim. So yeah, that's all this is. It's me going around Harko Village and talking to all the random people. If that's like your thing, then cool, watch it. If not, then like whatever. I'm uploading it anyway, so yeah, that's that.
That remains to be seen. What I can do is provide access to certain resources, or the tools to mine them yourself. If you have already got all that, I can set you up with what you need to start refining those resources. Grigori Harkonnen is the village lord, has been for nearly 2 centuries. But since the destruction of Karthik, Glossu-Raban often appears, much to Grigori's displeasure, it is said. One can easily imagine a fair number of reasons. Glossu-Raban is not a subtle man. His presence is to the displeasure of just about everyone he meets. Whatever do you mean? I merely said it would be a pleasure to assist you. Now, let us get on with it before you're accidentally struck with a welding laser. This can be a dangerous area. That depends on what you are looking for, friend. Whether I tell you or not depends on how generous I'm feeling at that moment. I will tell you this much. There is plenty of salvage in the area. It is more useful than the name implies, and a resource that is near to my heart. I am always interested in articles of that type. Come see me anytime, and I will give you a price above all others. That wasn't much Solari.
I'm certain I've seen you before. I trace my blood through theirs, yes. But we here have grown far from our brothers and sisters out in the far reaches of the desert. I myself have never even seen the inside of a siege. I know nothing of their world, but understand, a location is of no use to you. You will find nothing if they do not wish to be found. Fortunate for someone like you, meeting them would be only the beginning of your troubles.
This chick sounds like the Skyrim female Khajiit voice actress. Like, she sounds like the merchant, fucking Ankari, I think is her name, or some shit.
This is their world, their home. Outfriend bring nothing but misery. To the Fremen, you may serve only as water for the tribe. Oh, I have lived here all my life. Even so, I don't think I can tell you very much. My father knew so much of this place, a story for every moment. He was a fine man. It's been Harko village since before I was born, But my father told me that not much before my time, it was called Gerona, before the Harkonnen came. Their name is lost to my memory, but many riches they had. My father spoke of them many times. I remember because he wished the Harkonnen never came. Father said life before the Harkonnen was hard, but not cruel. The Harkonnen changed everything, but it's all I've ever known. Oh, so many, many things. Old stories of our people, songs he taught me. But there was one thing I still remember, because it always set my mind to dreaming. I'll say, but only if you never tell another. I will trust you. He said that Harko hides a great secret. I know every old place has secrets, but this was different. If you find it, you'll tell me, won't you?
Hello. If you're planning to head out to collect spice, I have all that you need. Is it not the reason we are all here? Spice is life, but more importantly, spice is wealth. With spice, everything is possible, and it's right out there for the taking. If you can avoid everything that will kill you, which is everything. Of course. Though I can see why you might think otherwise. I don't look like those other sand eaters, right? Too young, too clean. Yes, I will admit I'm spending less time on the dunes these days. To be honest, I've done well for myself, and prospecting's more of a sideline now. Eager to get out there, are we? I know very well how you feel. The riches you've dreamt of seem within reach, don't they? Well, you still have some distance to cover. When you first start out, you will be able to do little more than grab it with your hands, but you won't get much that way. It tends to slip through the fingers. It's best to get a static compactor. Down the road, when you're ready, we can talk about getting your hands on a crawler. That is all there is to it. Where there are worms, there is spice. Plenty right here. But the deep desert, out beyond the shield wall, is where the real fortunes lie. For the time being, I would leave that to the adults. You had best cut your teeth within reach of Harko. Just watch for those purple spice blows, and get in quick. Avoid? Everywhere is as good as any to get yourself murdered on Arrakis. But you might want to avoid anything promising something worse than death. No, friend, that is not all. But I don't have all day to go through the list, do I? I will tell you this. Don't listen to a word from Asmara Effendi or any of her smuggler comrades. At least the scavengers know they are scavengers. Smugglers are hardly any different. But that is not how they see it. According to them, any trade not claimed by a house is theirs. Like they are the only legitimate thieves in this world. Little emperors they are. But never mind, that is a small matter. And you have greater things ahead.
Let the echoes of I'm going to stop you right there and say straight off that for any repair, construction, or renovation job, I'm booked solid through the next 8 months. So don't even ask. Best I can do is maybe let you have a few supplies, what little I can get my hands on, that is. War's great for repair work, but the supply chain's as gone as the Fremen.
Celebrate the glory of House Harkonnen. Unity, strength.
Welcome back. Because you've never been to my homeworld. Every millimeter of stonecrete, every glass portal, and every shape beam in here is meant to invoke a unique construction detail found only on the ice planet, Lankivale. In truth, we are shamelessly borrowing from the renowned design mentat Hansia Einwald, but I like to think he would be flattered if he wasn't dead. The nautical theme and ornamentation celebrates our homeworld's most famous export, the magnificent and priceless furs of the great Beyondux Vale, the bones of which hang suspended above the beer hall as our dramatic centerpiece. This particular specimen was an especially infamous and fearsome beast known as Krasinok. Me? That's a good laugh. No, that would be my father, Ilyich. He was a whaleboat captain in his younger days. In fact, father was granted this place as a boon for catching the beast. Krasinok sent more than 30 boats to the bottom before father finally took it. 11 men and 4 limbs were lost in the 8-day running battle with the beast. Narrow harpoons bristling from its ivory hide like a hedgehog. A hide that now hangs behind the Baron's rather ample habitus as a fancy dress cape. At its heart, a village like any other. At least it was before they came. Grigori Harkonnen was an unusually agreeable village lord, especially for a Harkonnen. But then Carthage was destroyed, and all those great house bastards took up here in Harko. Glossu the Beast Raban and his snake of a mentat. A name I shall not utter lest his evil gaze turns upon me. Have to hand it to Grigory, though. He played it exactly right and stood aside before the beast could push him from the spire. I speak the truth, that is all. The beast can eat Yazla. Our loyalties were to Count Abelard Raban, not his demon son. The Count used to sail with father on whaling expeditions. It was Abelard who presented us with his beer hall in gratitude for ending Krasinok's reign of terror. But I think father looks at the boon as more of a retirement gift from an old friend for a life of loyal service. It said Glossu strangled his father to death with his bare hands. I pray it's not true, but it said that's how the beast got his name. Wise? No. But wisdom is in shorter supply than water on Arrakis. I say what I think, and there's nothing they can do about it. I know where the bodies are buried. I know their big secret. A hidden truth about this town that would bury them all if it ever found the right ears. And they know I have contingencies in place, should anything happen to me or father. It's a stalemate. I mess with them and they can't do anything about it. But they know I'm stuck here. Father is too old to go anywhere else, and I won't leave him. So they've got me where they want me. Until he's gone. but that's another conversation.
Oh, look, the kitten is back. Do we have business? Kitten, if you needed to know that, you'd know. Why don't you come back and talk to me when you have something to talk to me about?
Welcome, stranger. What business have you with House Alexan? If you haven't heard of House Alexan, you will soon. Our influence grows rapidly into hearts, minds, and most of all, stomachs. We're traditional farmers and producers. We feed half the Imperium at any given time and make sure that nobody from Mala to Noble goes hungry. Thank you. House Alexan stands by our house words. Reap as you sow. We have no tradition of war or battle. The symbol of our wheat sheaf suffices. Oh, but you're wrong. Arrakis has the greatest crop of all. Melange. A part of my mission here is to study the methods of harvesting and find options. Alas, I have said too much on this topic. Please, let's speak of other things. The name is Graham Candace, diplomatic envoy for House Alexan. I think that's my title anyway. It's a bit complicated. Truth be told, I'm just a glorified farmer. More at ease with gourd seeds than politics. But they needed to send someone, and, well, here I am. Well, I may still have dirt under my fingernails, but I know enough about politics to avoid just giving out that information. Perhaps. I've been told to find the right sort of help to achieve our long-term goals here on Arrakis. In payment, I can offer political goodwill. Our vote on the High Council of the Landsraad. In matters pertaining to Arrakis, we can be swayed with the right incentives.
Welcome, fellow citizen. How is it that the Imperial Tax Administratum can assist you today? I am the duly appointed agent of the Imperial Tax Administratum. A small but critical cog in the mighty economic engine that drives our glorious Imperium ever forward. An engine, I may add, that requires a nearly incalculable and inexhaustible source of fuel to continue forward. And what do you think that fuel is? Of course, it's money. Indeed, your salary contributions, whether they be from property tithes, regional taxes, or the like, keep our great engine lurching ever forward. And it is my sacred duty to collect them.
The fucking tax chick in Harko Village, she's voiced by one of the chicks from Baldur's Gate. Do you know the vampire chick that wants Astarion to bite her, and he doesn't want to bite her?
No, I've met her.
Oh. Well, it's that voice actress. I almost guarantee it. I'll look it up, but yeah, it's definitely that chick. Yeah.
They are remitted to the Imperial Treasury to be dispersed as our great Padishah Emperor and his Mentat auditors see fit. I'm sure there's a war somewhere that needs paying for. There isn't much to tell. One provincial backwater is much the same as the next, although I'll admit some are less desolate than others. While Harko has the makings of something more, I'm afraid that potential will never be realized under the current administration. While I'm certain that Count Raban has the village's best interests at heart, I'm afraid he is all consumed with the Neo-Carthag construction project. And unfortunately, Neo-Carthag is both over time and over budget, which leaves the Count with little bandwidth for village matters. And Harko suffers as a result. Why Count Raban doesn't simply restore the village's previous and rightful lord to the position is beyond me. It's Count Raban's own cousin, Grigori Harkonnen, a most agreeable and competent village headman, if there ever was. Grigori was the custodian of Harko long before the beast and his retinue arrived, and will be so again when Neo-Carthag is finally complete.
Yo, I wonder if there's ever like a point where you can fucking murder this beast guy.
Not even the Baron himself can predict that.
Glossu,
No, the
beast,
project has
guy
been
who, like,
plagued
took
in
over
every
Harko
way
village.
possible. From sabotage to sandstorm damage
have
to
a
the
feeling
theft of
that
key
that's, like,
construction
their big
materials,
secret or whatever
which are then
has to do
offered
with
back
him.
to Count Raban at an exorbitant
It
markup.
would be cool if you could like murder that
Thus
guy.
far, Neo-Carthag has been an unmitigated disaster. Believe me, I've seen the books.
The whispers of dissent are the seeds of rebellion. Stamp them out with unwavering loyalty to House Harkonnen.
Oh, we meet again. The rhyme of your stride betrays you. You find me felled by the slings and arrows of calamity. Yet the universe will not let me die. I abide. I always abide. If you have eyes, I must appear a beggar, blind and broken. But once, I was a warrior, a sword master of Ginaz. Once, I was Seren Valen. Now, I am a walking mausoleum to his name. That is who I was, in the days of honorable duels, shining steel, and laughter. As I crawl through the sand and shit of Harko, high ideals fade. Betrayal upon betrayal made me, as you see. My enemies stripped everything from me, though they will not let me die. I do not. My trust in others is as mutilated as my body. The details of my betrayal are of no concern to you. More than mere blade slingers, a swordmaster is a force unto themselves. They can repair force shields, plan military campaigns, and improvise weapons. A swordmaster is a thread to a grand tapestry, an ancient tradition, a celebration of human excellence, defying mediocrity and thinking machines. If there is romance in our image, it is not the glorification of violence, but the celebration of humanity in the face of the cold void.
It's like the most badass fucking line in this game. It's so sick.
House Atreides has always been a good and faithful ally to House Ginaz. It makes it all the more painful to see that honorable house suffer in a war of assassins, just as we did not so long ago. From our homeworld on Ginaz,
We trace our roots all the way back into the long ago, fighting the thinking machines in the Butlerian Jihad. My house fell, defeated by House Mauritani in the War of Assassins. I would be saddened if the same fate befell House Atreides. As you wish.
This totally isn't the most fucking sketchy thing I've ever walked in on. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck?
Come in, Pawindar. Come in. State your purpose before my fricassee grows cold and is barely edible when hot. One would think that in an imperium of 1,000,000 worlds,
Scraper.
some culinary aptitude would have developed somewhere. What I wouldn't give for a proper bowl of Klavna Gar, or even a plate of Borks, steaming, rare, and glowing like the fires of Aralu. What is it you wanted again? State your business or be gone. My fricassee grows cold. 13! Where are you hiding, damn it?
He looks like the fucking face that was in that dude's stomach in Total Recall.
No. While it may seem to you that all Tleilaxu and our technology are monolithic, I assure you that is not the case. The fabrication of eyes requires a vast and complex network of integrated technological processes, far beyond the scope of this humble flesh mart. Yes, of course. Why didn't you just ask that to begin with? First, you must book Highliner passage to the Theta Eridani system. There, you must secure local conveyance to the farthest reaches of the Thallium Expanse, where at last you will come to our great homeworld, Tleilaxu. Then, if you are not killed outright for being a Pawindar in violation of our sacred space, it is only a quick jaunt to the western continent. You must travel beyond the Great Thor's Dales to finally arrive at the Tleilaxu Ophthalmic Manufactory Complex.
This dude's a wise ass.
Tell them Flesh Shaper Frack says hello.
This guy's a fucking wise ass. I can't even hate on him. The gangster fucking midget. Yeah, you're a little fucking freak. You're a little freak boy. It's fucking cool. Guy's creepy as hell. Ooh, hello. Who are you? Damn, lady.
I've not seen you before. Pray, what can you want from me? If you are asking where my allegiance lies, my sisters and brothers are smugglers. I'm with them. By being reliable. By being more than a common thief, like Einar over there.
Oh, this is the chick that what's-his-face didn't like.
Not the word I would use for that thieving addict. But yes, the spice prospector. Be wary of that one. Of that I have no doubt. He is the kind to put his hand in another's pocket and shout, "Thief!"
She's the voice for the spice dreams you do. The wrath of a kindly god is a fearful thing, that chick.
Who can say? Perhaps they are in the sand. Perhaps not. Some say they will return with a storm.
I've always just popped in and out of this place. I've never actually like gone around and like talked to these people, I feel like.
Together we shall conquer all adversaries.
Do you have business with me or House Spinett? From our homeworld of Drem, House Spinett produces the finest assassins deployed throughout the Imperium. For a price. That sounds like an Atreides sentiment. Their lofty ideals are commendable. But the conflict on Arrakis proves how ill-suited it is to the universe. We cleave to the laws of Khanli. We perfected the precepts of a war of assassins. Following these rules costs far less lives than open war. Our precise discipline in the art of death actually saves lives across the Imperium. The math does not lie. That is why we've come to Arrakis. Why we lobbied among the Landsraad for the conflict between Duke and Baron to be a war of assassins. My name is Darina Danil. I have the distinct privilege of serving the Landsraad representatives of House Spinett here on Arrakis. Though mine is a double calling. I'm also a chef sought out by the nobles of many houses. Good taste unites us. That is not untrue. Our society produces paragons among assassins and poisoners, as well as culinary masters. As you say, our food is that good. The things I can do with Maro's deer would make a paranoid man risk it all. Besides, ours is a society that cleaves to the laws of Khanli and the rules of conduct in the War of Assassins. We are that code's most devoted servants. Ours is a culture where politeness and coyness walk hand in hand. It is vulgar to say who is and who is not a practicing assassin. I will say that Harko village offers multiple levels of opportunity for my house, not the least of which is the demand for a skilled chef. House Harkonnen is a house of appetites, after all.
Respect for Harkonnen assault.
Something approaches me. In order to determine if it is an aid or an impediment to my plans, I must dissect it. Mentally, of course. You remain of little interest. For the moment.
Dracula, you got it.
You look a little lost, friend. You got somewhere you need to be. I can fly you there for a price. I like to fly. Fast. Storms, worms, or static. Nothing stops me from getting where I need to go. But you know what I don't like much? Talking. Can I fly you somewhere today? All right, suit yourself.
yeah, that was it. That's the video. Hope you liked it. If you made it this far, then I'm sure you did. If not, then fuck you. See ya.